Broadcasting live from the Vegas Video Network studios, just steps from the Las Vegas Strip, it's Talktails! And now our host, she's our very own kaleidoscope of talent. What? It's Kelly Clinton!
Crazy out of control here in the studio today. Welcome to Talktails. I am your host, Kelly Clinton-Holmes. We're on the Vegas Video Network. You know when Chris used to host the show, and there were like a few people in the crowd, and he said his name, they would do this. I want to know what happened from Anyway, this is a very exciting day. Because actually I'm a little nervous. I'm a little off my game right now because the person who is our guest, well, we have two guests today, first of all. But one of our guests is the gentleman whose place I took in a way. He can't really take his place. You know, it would take a major makeover for me, but which I'm willing to do, by the way. But anyway, he hosted the show, and I was actually a guest on the show when he was hosting. So we have entertainer, let's see, I think he's a hairdresser too, I just found out. I just found out some stuff while we were chatting. Anyway, he's doing a wonderful show at the Red Rock. He's become kind of a legend in our town. They're getting ready to roast him. You don't get roasted in this town unless you're a big time, someone who everybody just loves and admires. So it's a compliment. You really want to know who the guest is, don't you? Yes. Okay, I'll say it right now. Let me look at my notes. Chris Phillips is here today. Zowie Bowie. And we also have, oh, look at him there on that. Wow, he's got more makeup on than I do, doesn't he? Look at that. What kind of eyeliner do you use? Anyway, also another guest is a world-renowned set designer, also producer, Mr. Andy Walmsley is here today. I mean, designed the American Idol set, X Factor, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, The Biggest Loser, it goes on and on and on. This is a big show. This is very exciting. So I'm not going to talk a whole lot today. I'm only going to talk about 20 minutes before we bring them on. But I want you to meet our Talktails Orchestra. Mr. Kenny Davidson is back. Bow Tie Daddy.
I kissed her and she kissed me.
Yeah?
Like a fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head?
That's a little tribute to Zowie Bowie, huh?
Absolutely.
He does a vintage show, kind of paying tribute to the Rat Pack days. Mm-hmm. And he also does like a hip-hop kind of, do you know any hip-hop stuff?
My baby don't mess around me because you're that she goes for sure.
Stop.
That's as hip-hop as I get.
That's like the AM version. My baby don't. Anyway, Kenny Davidson, we also call him Bow Tie Daddy, and he is performing, headlining, where?
At the Tuscany Hotel and Casino, Friday nights, 10 o'clock to 2 a.m.
Each week you have a special guest?
Every Friday night I have a special guest every week, and the special guest this week, let me see my notes, I can't remember who it is. Oh, it's Kelly Clinton-Holmes.
I'm going to change my name to Kelly Willie instead, like Zowie Bowie.
Kelly Willie.
All right, that went over big. All righty now. I also want you to meet, anyway, I will be there Friday night. 10 o'clock we start? I will be there 10:45-ish.
Perfect.
Okay, now I'll be there at 10. Anyway, I also want you to meet the creator, the director, the producer of Vegas Video Network. He has so many shows on the network. Happy to be a part of it. Mr. Scott Whitney is here.
Hello, Kelly. How are you?
Scott, does it feel weird that you're having your I don't want to say old, but your old host and your new host on the same show? Is it weird?
It's like a menage a trois.
Oh, that's kind of
like
weird.
It. Makes me. By the way, he continues to be a good kisser.
Oh no, this is so weird. This is so weird. The show just completely stopped.
And he always smells so good.
He does smell good.
He really does.
And I found out that he cuts his own hair. Shocking!
He does not.
Yes.
There's
I
no
thought
way.
It was the garbage disposal.
Have you seen that hair?
He got pulled down in there.
Wow.
No, it's a work of art.
He
it's
can't
one
be.
of the
You
great
really cut
wonders.
your own hair, Chris? No way.
He does. We're going to talk to him about that. It's like one of the great wonders of the world. It's like the Grand Canyon and stuff.
It is.
Anyway, I'm so excited he's on the show, and we're going to get all into what it was like before I took over the show. And I want to say, I kind of feel guilty sometimes because Chris had Clint and I on the show. Do you remember that, Scott?
I do. I do.
Okay, you're so talkative today. And we didn't know really a lot about the show, and he was just such a great host. You know, I remember at the end of the show we said, "You're really, really good at this."
Right, and that's why we kept him here.
No, and then I thought to myself, I've got to tell the producer and director how great he is. And they also said, when you're ready to get rid of this clown, I am totally available. No, that's not what happened. I don't know what happened. Maybe we'll find out today. I have a little.
Oh, probably not.
I have a bit of a suspicion of what might have gone wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, the show was basically built on your relationship, right, Scott?
With Chris?
Yeah, because you guys were pals and you're.
Well, we had just met before we started the show.
You're kidding?
No.
It wasn't. He didn't inspire the show with the cocktails, and because he likes.
Well,
the
once we got
cocktails.
together and started talking about it, the genesis of the show was based upon his
drinking problem. That's so not nice.
You handled that really well. That was good.
I'm getting ready for the roast. You know, we're getting roasted.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So that was part of it. Sure, absolutely.
Well, I don't know.
I'm actually very disappointed in you that you don't drink nearly as much as Chris.
Isn't that terrible? He's like, drink, please drink, please drink. And, you know, there's so much more to it. There's liver disease in my family, but if you'd like me to drink, I will.
Yes, I do.
No, all right, so I have to tell you about our exciting... My husband's going, oh, my God. Lord have mercy.
Again, the best husband in the world, Clint Holmes, everybody.
I don't know how to take that, Scott. You're always saying what a saint he is and that he should get more money or whatever, like, because I'm so crazy.
Because I've worked with you. You're rough trade, man.
I am a dream, right, Chris? It's like my husband, he just goes...
You are a lovely, lovely host.
No, but I am. I'm not boring. And
No.
Speaking of not boring, we were at an event this weekend, Clint and I. We were at Keep Memory Alive, and the name of the event was Love, The Power of Love, and it was to raise money for the Lou Ruvo Brain Center. And they also, to raise money and to get all this attention, they also made it a birthday party for Quincy Jones. Does that ring a bell, Scott?
Yes, I did.
Is he still here?
Yes, no. All I remember is I wasn't invited.
I know, but you know, you got to remember that we get invited to a lot of things because of a lot of the work that Clint does for our town. He's always there to support lots of different charities, and this is one of them that he is a big part of. And then I just get to tag along. Yeah. But also, it was Michael Caine's birthday. So, do you know who was there? It was amazing. Chaka Khan.
Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan.
Stevie Wonder. I shook the hand of Stevie Wonder. Yes, exactly. Who else? Clint, Patty Austin, Herbie Hancock, James Ingram. You remember Patty Austin, James Ingram? How do you keep the music playing? That's perfect, Kenny.
Nice.
How can you make? And then James Ingram with all those. I was like, let me just take my clothes off now. But
nice.
It seemed that on the red carpet, I turned around because I lost Clint for a second, and there he was with James Ingram was like massaging his shoulders.
What?
Should I be worried?
No. Did Herbie Hancock play?
Yes, he did.
Did he play Rocket?
Did he play what?
Rocket.
No, he did not play. They played like they did a whole jazz set. What did you do, Clint? Killer Joe with Tom Scott and some other amazing Carlos Santana. I feel like I'm making all this up. I mean, it was like the best dream of your life. Where
But not a very good show. Not a lot of people.
Yeah, there was no one there. There was only 2,000 people there. It was so great, and they raised tons of money. And you know what else we did? We lived on the edge.
What'd you do?
Well, we were at a table it wasn't far back, but it wasn't really close up, right? And we had this little troublemaker at our table. Her name was Dominique. And she said, there's a table up front that nobody's sitting at, and I think we should move. And of course, your uptight friend Kelly was like, no, that's wrong. I don't want to do that because what if the people come? She said, there's a whole table. Come on, you're a big stick in the mud. And then she poured alcohol down my throat. And then
You know what? Let's have her on the show.
Let's have her host the show. But anyway, we did move up, and on my way, I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. But
You did it? Oh, good for you.
Yeah, so yeah, I know. Well, we got the whole table to agree to do it, so then I felt less guilty. But on our way, we ran into Wayne Newton, my good friend Wayne Newton.
Let's hear it.
Well, he said, "It's so great to see you, Kelly. I think the four of us should get together, right? 5, 6, 9, 12, talk and share.
Yeah.
That's right, Kenny." All right. So anyway, it was an unbelievable evening. Do I have anything else to talk about, or do we have no?
I have one question about the table, the first table you were
Yes.
at. Any empty seats there?
No, there were no empty seats. Oh, you're saying you feel uninvited. And
That's
I
okay.
feel so
Don't worry about
bad.
me.
Scott,
Don't worry
you just
about
gotta
me.
start doing stuff for charity and stuff. You gotta go out there.
Hey,
You gotta
quit being such a selfish ass, Scott.
I know what you can do.
Okay.
You can come to the Suncoast on June 1st and film my one-woman show.
I will, and I'll
as
make you a
gift to
deal.
me.
Oh,
Then
and then I'll go to
will-
the Lou Robo thing because my brain will explode.
No, but I will sometime give up my seat, and you could be Clint's date instead of me at one of these great events.
Okay.
All right, now the show's almost over, so I'm going to go to commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to revisit the guy who was sitting in this chair. In fact, maybe I should move over. We're going to have Zowie Bowie, Chris Phillips, and then Andy Walmsley coming right up after this on Talktails.
3, 2, 1. Oh, I need to come up with something funny to say. 3, 2, 1. Wow. But the co-host. Really, I have to say watching. Well, I'm doing.
That's how you do it. You better
Really?
watch. There
Okay.
you go.
I got it.
We are the Odds Couple.
Hi, my name is Scott Pritchard.
And I am Anthony Padilla.
You're watching the Vegas Video Network.
You are.
You are, we are too.
Welcome back to Talktails. I am your host, Kelly Clinton-Holmes. I am not Chris Phillips. I am not the Hugh Hefner of the tanning salons. No, I'm not. But he's sitting right here. There, the town is getting ready to do a major roast on Chris Phillips. All the comedians and all the entertainers are coming out to honor this man, so to speak, or send him into counseling. Please say hello to your former Talktails host, Mr. Chris Phillips. Wow! Oh my goodness! Welcome home, Chris.
Well, Mrs. Clinton Holmes, I have to say that I'm first and foremost having to apologize to you and to those who are watching simply because you're having to put up with my ridiculous voice that I lost this weekend for the first time in over 15 years.
Got a little bit of allergies going on.
I did, and so I apologize, but I have to say I am so flattered and excited to be back here. And, you know, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank both you and Scott for apparently forgetting about me over the last year that I haven't been asked.
Oh, no, Chris, I
guess there's no one else in town.
He's roasting himself.
Was Anthony Cools not available?
Well, after you interviewed him the first time, he wouldn't come back.
Was he your first guest?
He was my
he
first guest.
I watched that interview, and I thought it was wonderful, and you guys were drinking. Are you the Dean Martin of Las Vegas, where you're pretending to drink? Maybe he drank before. Then you're pretending.
Well,
there's my answer.
Well, no, the difference between Dean Martin and I is that I pretend to entertain and really drink. So, that's a true story.
See, now you do what you're doing right now all the time. It's part of your shtick.
No, you know what? I got to say something, though. This was based, as Scott pointed out, on being able to sit down and have some cocktails with my friends. But, Scott, I've been gone a year. It's the same freaking bottle that I left here. I'll be damned if I'm going to drink. Oh, my God. I'll put this away before we go to commercial.
I know. I offered Chris a water in the beginning of the show, and it was like kryptonite to him.
You know, it's like I already took a shower.
I'm melting.
No, I'm so happy for you, and I'll be honest. You know, it's so nice that there's finally people watching the show. Because
That's not
when I had
true.
it, you know, there was my mom.
It was lovely, by the way. She was
I
very
know.
nice.
Does she live in town?
No, she lives in Tempe, Arizona, and so, you know, and I think that she's watching today.
Is she watching today?
I think I told her that I was doing this, and she said, well, as long as there's a chance that Clint might be on, I'll watch.
Oh, all right, then we'll just pretend that perhaps he will be.
Speaking of which, how is your house husband? Is he okay?
He is doing so well.
Is he still trying to follow that notion that he wants to sing for a living?
I know. Come on,
When is he going to get a freaking job? You know, I'll be honest, I do know some people at Home Depot. And if you
No,
want
let me tell you, Clint cannot change a light bulb. I'm telling you right now. His gifts are all in the singing and the performing and the writing and creating. But a ladder is a foreign thing to him. Yes.
Well, I understand.
No
Well,
Home Depot.
Yeah, in all sincerity, my girlfriend Lydia and I had the absolute pleasure of getting to see you and Clint do your thing at Bootlegger a couple weeks ago on Monday night. And all jokes aside, every time I see you and Clint perform, I realize, God, if they can do that, I sure can. You make me want to quit. You guys are so great at what you do. And Clint was actually one of the very first shows I saw in Las Vegas when I was a very young child.
This is Roast Clint Day on Talktails.
No, seriously, we came here, you know, prior to, I moved here 7 years ago.
Okay.
And just prior to moving here, one of the shows I saw was when he was over at Harrah's. And, you know, I thought, man, if I could do something that's even close to how cool that is. And it wasn't just how great of a singer and how great of a band and what a great show. He just seemed like such a warm, giving person that I thought, you know, if you could carve out a life doing what you love to do as much as this guy loves to do what he loves to do. And he had his mom in the audience, and it was just like, oh my God.
I know,
this was just the coolest thing in the world. I want to do that.
That's
and so I
part
went
of
back
what
home
brought
and,
you
well,
out here, right?
I love Vegas so much, and I didn't have dreams and aspirations of being an entertainer. I had dreams and aspirations of being a Vegas entertainer.
Right, like the Sinatras and the
seeing people,
Rat Pack.
you know, I love Don Rickles and Paul Anka and, you know, of course, Sammy Davis Jr. and Elvis are my heroes, but, you know, quite honestly, I think when I saw Clint, I thought, man, you know, that's truly something that not only is entertaining, but it moves you in a way that you leave the theater with substance. And I think a lot of the problem with so many shows these days is amazing visually and otherwise they are.
Right.
You don't
Like
leave
the
with it.
cirque shows
Cirque
and all
shows
of
are
that
they're incredible, and they bring a lot of revenue to the city, and that's about it.
No, they're terrific. But what you're saying basically is you missed the in one.
Clint, you left
performer.
with a story and substance, and your heart was warm.
Is this
when
a
you left.
proposal?
I have no microphone.
See, Clint is in the audience.
I just want to say hi to your mother. Hi. Hi, Mom. It's really great to. He does smell good. Fascinating. So, hi, Mom.
Oh, he does smell good. Oh.
Speaking of smell, you know, I didn't know they still made Aqua Velva. You know, I respect a man who wears aftershave. They still make that shit.
That's not true.
No, I love Clint Holmes. My God.
But in other words, and I'm putting words in your mouth, but I know this about you. You had a dream because of all the people you admire, and they're mostly in-one performers, like the Sinatras, the Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, and all these in-one performers because they make a connection to the audience. And you came to some shows that moved you that way, and you said, I've got to get there.
Yeah, I do love performers that are all in one. And like with Clint, he has, he's every race in one, incidentally, if I understand.
You're using up all the roast for when they roast you.
No, but you guys make such a wonderful couple. And when you guys do any type of performing together, it's magic. And maybe this isn't my place to say, but when you guys going to do a show together?
Yeah.
I want to see the Kelly and Clint show.
Well, you know, we do perform together. You know, I'm a special guest in his show, and then of course he comes and supports me at all my gigs. But you know, I don't think he wants to do the Steve and Edie thing. You know, or the Sonny and Cher.
I don't blame him one bit. That really worked out well for me.
So maybe that's what it is. Maybe we want to keep our relationship alive. It's better this way. You work a little together,
Absolutely.
and then you support each other.
Well, I say that, but now, you know, I'm proud to say that you know, especially when I had the show a year ago, Scott, before you guys fired me.
That didn't really
We
happen,
didn't fire
right?
you. You just didn't show up.
I remember watching a show, and you had just come back the next week, and he said, what happened last week? And you said, I just forgot to come there. What happened? Did that really happen? Like twice?
Well, when there's something as forgettable as my show, do you blame me? No, in all reality, I've just never been so bored in my life doing this.
Oh, that's not true.
No.
Hey, let's bring on the next guest, please. Next guest.
No,
Okay.
at the time, I just took on I started hosting a game show.
Oh, that's right.
And then we started performing on Monday nights as well. And so I had a crazy day on Monday. The game show ended about 5 minutes before we started this. And then my night show started about an hour and a half after we would have taped this. And, I'm somebody who likes to work about 3 hours a week and have been for 30 years. And so that was
Wow.
about to kill me. And I do miss the money I made on this show.
Oh, wait a minute. You got paid for doing this
Oh, you're not
show?
getting paid? Oh, but the benefits were good.
But wait, let me just say this to you. I know Scott's going to say
you guys used to be
something.
really nice
We're
people.
team. It's affection and love. All right. Seriously though, you often pick on yourself a lot. So you always say, oh yeah, but then there's talent, which I don't have. Now that's not true, because we've all seen you perform. You're a good singer, you're a good showman, and you got good moves too. Is that part of your shtick, or do you really
I like how
feel
she
that
left out
way?
anything having to do with singing. Did you notice
I
that?
said sing. That was first. You weren't listening. First I said good singer.
I'll be
Do you
honest.
really feel that
I'll
way?
tell you what I think I'm very good at, and that is, if you've ever been to Zowie Bowie, you know that it's not about me and it's not about our band. It's about the people that come to see us. And I love people so much, and I love to make them feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have a talent, it's that I have a genuine passion to make people feel as though they're not only accepted, but I want them to know that there is a place you can go where no matter what may have happened through the week, you can come see Zowie Bowie and get in the Zowie Bowie frame of mind, and hopefully leave feeling better than when you came in. And
Exactly.
whatever it is I may do during the course of a couple hours, it might be nonsense and fueled by some Crown Royal and whatnot, but I love entertaining. I love singing and prancing around and acting like a tart. But I surround myself with beautiful women and gaudy jewelry, and I call it a day.
Well, tell me about that. Tell me about your persona. You created this guy. I mean, I often think about it, and I think, was he a band geek guy in school? Were you a nutty professor? Were you that kind of guy who felt nerdy, and then you just invented a potion, and then turned into this handsome, tan, sparkly guy with this haircut and these blue eyes? You probably have brown eyes and dark hair, don't you?
Well, I used to be a fat black guy in high school. That's really funny. That's not true. Like, I went to high school.
So is it
You all are laughing like you believe me.
We do believe. No, but I mean,
no,
is this the way you envisioned the Vegas guy?
Again, in all sincerity, since I was 7, 8 years old, my idols were Elvis Presley, Sammy Davis Jr., and what I liked most about them is the persona that they seemed to carry when they were in Las Vegas.
Right.
And I used to, from afar, see these lifestyles that they led. And so when I came here, I wasn't interested in just being a performer on stage. I was interested in being a performer 24/7, no matter where I went, no matter what I was doing. And so for me, the stage is just another 2 hours of my day where I get to still be myself, because it doesn't change throughout the day. And as Lydia knows, we can be going hiking in Red Rock and everybody's out there with shorts and a headband, and I look exactly the way I do right now. Because to me, it's about the character that comes with it. And I think that if you're going to be believable at what you do, you have to really live and believe who and what you are. And I think that's hopefully what is conveyed on stage, is this guy who loves Las Vegas and loves entertaining.
Well, absolutely it is, because everybody
Loves drinking.
Yes, everybody loves drinking. Oh no, you love drinking. And last time I saw you, you were drinking like a Diet Coke. It was like you were.
And I spilled it all over your husband, incidentally.
Did you?
Do you remember that?
Did you? We were at the bootlegger, and I thought, oh, Chris is turning over a new leaf. And then perhaps were you uncomfortable in that skin?
No, it's because I'd taken so many drugs in the car.
So the drinking stays.
That's not true. I don't have a car.
Are you
gonna milk that?
Did he write this stuff, or is this just coming out right now? You're a crazy man. But everybody, I know there's already a show called Everybody Loves Chris, but they do. Everybody, you have a great reputation in town. You came down 7 years ago, right?
We actually celebrated. This is amazing. I really can't believe this. Last week we celebrated our 7-year anniversary at Red Rock. They still put up with me and haven't fired me yet.
7 years. That's a long gig.
I'll actually show up at a gig where they pay you.
Now, at the Red Rock, no more, we can't pick on Scotty.
No, and so we it was the Fertitta family who owned Station Casinos. They saw us in Scottsdale, and we had a big thing going out there, and they invited us here, and I literally said, I don't want to just be a band in a casino. I said, and this is the true story, and I was so naive at the time, I had no idea who I was talking to or what I was saying. I said, I don't want to be the band in your casino. I want to be the face of your casino.
Wow, you're good.
And I told them no to the offer that they gave me. And then
which was probably pretty darn good.
A couple weeks after that, they came back and they said, well, what do you want? And I threw this outrageous figure at them and all these things, and they said yes.
Oh, that's great.
And so for the first 3 years I was here, I was living like a king and thought, oh, this is the way everybody lives here.
Billboards
and then,
everywhere.
Lo and behold, something happened, and one day I got a call and said, Chris, we love you guys to death, but we've gone bankrupt, and you're out of here unless you want to work on pennies on the dollar. So we then, for a couple months, left and went to the Monte Carlo, and that's where I got to live out my true passion, my dream, where I got to do this 20-piece orchestra in the Lance Burton Theater and do this big vintage Vegas show, and I'd still be doing it if it wasn't a flop.
Well, because it's not easy. It's not easy
kidding.
to fill
It actually went well, but I think Clint can probably understand. I was having to pay 27 people. It was a union room, and a guy by the name of Frank Caliendo, who was a comedian, came in and bought the room out, which Clint, the days of being paid by a casino, a salary, is unheard of, and we still are at Red Rock.
Four-wall.
But see, anybody can come in now with a couple $1 million and say, I want that room, and they don't even care what you do. They just say, oh, they open the door, and then they realize there's more to it than just throwing money at it. But no, it actually went very well. They allowed us to come in for a couple weeks or a couple months and do our thing, and we're still able to do it here and there. But
that's where your passion is in the big band and
it's
the
keeping. As I always say this term, and I love this term, but I came here to keep the genuine Maverick spirit of what this city is about alive.
First, ding, 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 ding. I've been waiting for him to say Maverick Spirit.
I love coming here in the 70s and 80s and seeing my heroes like Don Rickles and these guys that went up there and just seemed to have the time of their life. But everybody got dressed up, and there was a certain class and decorum in the showroom, and there was the maitre d's. You could grease their palm and go right to the front. And now it's like theaters, like a movie house where you go in with your popcorn and you're sitting there like this, and I don't know, but I like the old Vegas, and it's guys like Clint who make this city what it's all about, and bless his heart, he's
Yeah, go ahead, you can applaud.
But something also just happened last week that I can't even believe. But for the third time since we've been here, we won this thing called Best of Las Vegas.
Yes.
I still don't know what for.
They don't say the best show.
The funny thing, we were in this category that was called Best Tribute Show, and I was like, am I a tribute to myself?
Well, that's interesting. Tribute to the music.
No, so that included like Legends and the Rat Pack is Back and all this stuff. So whatever it was called, I'm so appreciative because that's an award that is voted on by the people of Las Vegas. And the show we do is based primarily or performed primarily to locals.
Right.
And we love this city. We love the people that make, we figured out what the Maverick Spirit of Las Vegas is. It's the people that live here.
Yeah, that's right.
And
that's right.
I'm so proud to be a Las Vegan. And so now to be so honored to be roasted by the entertainers that make up this great community of entertainment, it kind of is a throwback to those days that I love so much, where there's that camaraderie amongst the people that not only live here but work here, and And to bring everybody together, not only up on stage, but in the audience, I think is the coolest thing that can be done. And hands off to our next guest, who's Andy Walmsley, who created this whole idea, and the fact that they were, they must have really been desperate for their first guinea pig.
Stop.
But I'm honored to be part of that.
This is a big honor, and it's affectionate, and I'm sure you are going to be. There's going to be smoke coming from your tan skin that night. That's for sure. So we're going to talk more about the roast when we come back with our next guest, who is a world-renowned set designer and now producer and bringing the entertainers together here in Las Vegas. Andy Walmsley coming right up after this on Talktails.
This is David Ivey from Pub Crawl. It's funny because this is David from. You should just leave it on. Hi, I'm David Ivey from Pub Crawl, and you're watching the Vegas Video Network. And scene.
Welcome back to Talktails. My name is Kelly Clinton-Holmes, and we are joined by two very significant people in this town. We were just talking to former host of this show from Zowie Bowie, Chris Phillips, and we're now joined by set designer, producer. He's just changing this town, Mr. Andy Walmsley. Hi, Andy.
We've got tanned and untanned.
It's before and after.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got two things I want to do straight from the beginning.
Do it.
First of all, did you know I designed your set? I'm not kidding. I really.
Is that
Scott?
true?
Yeah, I really did.
Is that true?
It's not necessarily my best work.
And as you can tell, they had the same budget for the set designers they did for the host.
But the man who designed the set for American Idol and X Factor
Did your set?
Did our set.
And my second thing, what is the premise of the show? Isn't it drinking and talking?
Yes. I never took a drink.
I seem to have an empty hand.
We don't have a drink for Andy. How could we?
Like,
what are you drinking?
Me?
No.
What are you drinking, friend?
No. Where are the glasses?
And let's give him a
Why don't we do shots? That's what we should do.
Well, you can
Actually,
use my one
like
that
that
I'm
stuff.
certainly not going to use. There you go.
Right, okay, I'm good now. Okay, go on.
All right, we'll get you a glass.
I'm working on this.
We'll get you going. Do you need ice? Do we have ice? Okay, anyway.
Where's
Ira's got
Ice
some
Boy?
ice.
Ice boy.
But while we're getting the drinks together, let's talk about the upcoming roast.
I'm going to give up on that.
It is at the Stratosphere.
You see what my
Hotel.
priority is?
I know,
I'm completely ignoring you. But now I'm listening, sorry.
Lost control of Andy's attention.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Right.
All right.
I do?
Oh, what's
Okay.
that?
Is
Now
that
we got
the
to dump
honey?
that out.
No, I'll just have
There we go. This is Honey Jack. This is what makes all of our guests tell us everything, all the way back
Love
to
it.
their childhood memories or released things you've forgotten and had counseling to get rid of. Tell us, Andy, about the roast.
The roast. Well, I'm going to be really serious, which is going to be so boring after he was so funny. But it's kind of a long story, but I promise I'll keep it short. So just like him, I love the whole Vegas tradition. What's that term he uses?
The Maverick Spirit.
Yeah. And I was talking to Clint earlier about in the old days, like 70s, late 70s, early 80s, there was 8 shows in this town, believe it or not. And so, of course, the entertainers would all meet together after, usually at the Peppermill or other places around town, and it was a lot easier. Now, there's over 100 shows, and of course, people, perhaps the Cirque people meet together after, and the cast of Jubilee maybe have a barbecue, but it's rare that we all get together. They do. I've actually been to the Jubilee barbecue, so
What is he saying?
No, but what I'm trying to say is that this is the serious part of the show, and you're.
Our guest is speaking.
Thank you. So what I'm trying to say is that we don't mingle together as a community. There's like little pockets of gangs, but we don't often get together. So about 3 years ago, I was working in a theatre in New York, and I'm looking at the pinboard backstage, and there was all these things like softball games, all these gatherings for the Broadway community, so they could all get together. So I thought, why don't we do that in Vegas? It's insane. We have all these shows, all these people. So I picked up the phone straight away, called Mark Savard, the hypnotist, who's a good friend of mine. And then we rang Catherine Hickland, the former soap star.
One Life to Live.
And Jerry McCambridge, the mentalist. And basically, with all three of them, are you still awake? Sorry. I'm getting to the roast. So with all three of them, we decided to throw showbiz parties. This was like 2-3 years ago, and you came to a bunch of them, and Clint did, and you were there at least in
He
body.
won't remember.
No, he doesn't remember.
He was there.
So anyway,
Sterling Club, you did one day.
Yeah, we did big ones, small ones.
Luxor,
we did a beach one, a pool one day. So they worked well and people enjoyed them, but the problem was there was no real reason to go. I mean, there was a reason to socialize and see your friends and make new friends, but there was no hook. So now fast forward to 6 weeks ago, and I'm watching late night infomercials for the Dean Martin roast.
Yes.
You can buy this box set DVD.
I have them, but
you
go
do?
on.
So
yes.
I'm watching this and I'm thinking, God, why don't we do that? Why is that not happening today in Vegas like it used to?
Great.
And it was this light bulb moment on the top of my head. So I made a list of names, potential people we could roast. And of course he
None
was...
of them could come.
Yeah, they were all working. We're roasting already.
Except for Clint and I.
But there's this whole list, and of course, out of the whole list, he was on there. His name just kept jumping out of the page to me for lots of reasons. First of all, he's like an easy target, obviously. He's a great sport. And as you said earlier, he's really loved. I mean, so many people in this town love him.
Yes.
And I knew it would be a great turnout and people would want to do it, want to be involved. So I had lunch with him and I just made a poster. I didn't tell him what it was going to be. And I just pulled out this poster and he just peed himself laughing.
Literally.
And he said, I'm in. Whatever you want, I'm in.
Oh,
so
this is right up your alley.
And that was just
You
6
love it.
weeks ago. And we're 9 days away now, 8 days, whatever.
Okay, so it was
8 days.
easy to get everyone to say yes, right? Can you give us some of the names? You want?
Oh,
I'll give you
God,
your
here we go.
list.
Okay, so Mike Hammer, who has his own show at the Four Queens, is the host. He's the roast master. Then we have Robin Leach, Lorena Perel from Fantasy, Johnny Katz, Gordie Brown, Frankie Shinter, Brian Thomas, some broad called Kelly Clinton.
Love her.
Murray
Love her work.
Sawchuk, BBR, Recycled Percussion, Clint,
Wow.
Dana Rosselli, George Wallace, and Vinny Favorito. And we have an 8-piece band, showgirls, and some surprises that I can't tell you about.
So are all of those names roasting? Are they all roasters?
Yeah.
How are you going to do that without it being like 4 hours?
I timed it yesterday, and including applause and laughter and people messing around, it's literally 80 minutes.
80 minutes.
Now I've said it in public, so let's get the stopwatch going on the night. But it should be 80, maybe 90 minutes.
Are you going to do the thing like they do in a comedy club and flash the light in their eyes?
Or a big hook, maybe. Just the giant
Not
hook.
so subtle.
But it should be 80, 90 minutes.
Are there any rules in the roast? Any rules?
Just don't go on for hours. I mean, like we just said, it's got to be 3 or 4 minutes and then on to the next one. Otherwise, we'll all be there all night.
Language?
Oh, no, please.
Go for it.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
It'll be Scott's dream come true. I will curse like a sailor for you, Scott. I will. So I'm so excited to do it, but I also feel like kind of Catholic guilt, you know, where I don't want to hurt the little guy.
Trust me, it's going to take a lot to penetrate 3 layers of mist on tan, I can promise you.
So, okay, so I know there's going to be a lot of tanning and a lot of hair and teeth jokes, and so I kind of have something planned for you that's a little different. And then there's going to be BBR as a singing group, so I assume they'll be singing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that a secret or anything?
No, they're going to sing their roast, and I don't think it's a secret either to reveal that Clint is also going to sing his roast.
How wonderful
So that
is
should be
that?
interesting, yeah.
Okay, so your dream is to. I don't think Mom can come to this roast.
Oh, we should show the chair. Do you have the chair? Scott?
Oh, do you have a picture of the chair?
The throne of doom.
Let's show it right here
there
on
we
the
go.
Talktails set. There it is.
So that's the throne of doom
awesome.
that Chris is
Amazing,
love that.
Chris. All right, so how do people, do you have to have a special invite to go to the show?
Oh, God, this part is a complete nightmare for me.
Uh-oh.
Well, there's 450 seats in the room, so I've got a bunch of friends coming. Obviously, Chris has a lot of friends coming. All the roasters have their own friends coming.
That's just my ex-girlfriends.
Yeah. So I've got 50.
Oh, boy.
So there's about 200 seats left. And I know
That's
people
it?
say this when they come on things like this, but this really is true. And those 200 are literally first come, first serve. And they're going to be at the Stratosphere box office, but not until 10 p.m. on the...
So people can't pre-buy their tickets now, those 200?
No. So you've basically got to show up at 10 p.m., get in line, and the first 200, they're all free, but the first 200, that's it. It's done.
This is kind of scary
Unfortunately.
because people, I mean, that's a big marketing thing right there, because like you did with the Fertitas, right, where you say, oh, no, I can't do it for that, and then they come back, well, what will you do it for? everyone's going to want to come to this show already because of who you're roasting.
But it sounds like
and
a
who's
gimmick,
roasting.
but that really is true. I mean, there's just
It's gonna be
200
chaos.
seats. Yeah, I know.
It's going to be crazy.
It's my biggest nightmare is that I'm in the lobby. He's on stage having a laugh. I'm in the lobby arguing with 400 people. But I guess that's a good problem to have.
Oh, no, you got to be in the room. So
Oh, I will be, yeah.
You
But
got to hire
there
some
may be a small
lookalikes.
riot going on in the lobby, maybe.
It sounds so exciting.
Yeah, I know. I
And
can't
did
wait.
you say George Wallace on there?
Yeah,
Because-
George.
So it's going to start at red carpet, you said.
10 o'clock. So the tickets are released at 10 o'clock, red carpet at 10 o'clock. And there's like a pre-show party, because that was all part of the thing as well. It's not just a roast, it's a showbiz party. Like I was saying earlier,
Right.
it's an excuse for us all to mingle and chat and get to know each
Mingle
other.
and mix.
And so that's at 10. And then the show, 11, 11:15, that kind of time. We're just going to feel it out.
Okay.
You know, we don't want to start too late, but we don't want to rush people to sit down if they're
Right.
enjoying speaking with each other.
Okay. All right. I have another question for Chris, because I forgot to say, in your show at Red Rock, or
Yes.
any show that you do, you are surrounded by beautiful women. Before you had a partner in crime up there. Now you have beautiful Lydia Ansel from Bella Electric Strings, right?
As Scott and the gang around here may recall, back when I was the host of the show, I was going through an interesting time.
I think
where
the whole
I had
town knows you were going through an interesting time. So,
where I had numerous gal pals.
auditioning to be your next girlfriend. I mean, partner.
No, it was a good year, but but then I went to a very good friend of mine's birthday party, a friend of yours named Gordy Brown.
Ah, Gordy.
I went to his birthday party, and I was with a date, but lo and behold, across the dance floor, I saw this beautiful young lady who just seemed like she had the most optimistic, bright spirit, and I said, "I'll be right back." I approached her and I said, "My name is Chris, and I met this girl named Lydia." And she said, "Well, I play electric violin, and she's part of this quartet called Bella Electric Strings. And they're a very talented group of young ladies that do all kind of things all over the world." And she said, I play violin. I said, "Well, you know what? I've got this show. Why don't you come and play violin with me later? I got a show later tonight." And she said, "I would love to."
Wow.
But I was kind of just kidding, because, you know, there's really nothing more that says a hip-hop show than a violin. But she, incidentally, she showed up. She brought her violin. She got on stage with us and was completely fearless.
Oh,
She played.
She's a formidable woman.
We then talked, and I absolutely.
Check the mail. Thank you.
It was love at first sight, and I've been with her every single night since then. That was 10 months ago. She moved in 6 months ago. I've never been happier. She is a full-time member of the Zowie Bowie band. And the only thing that's more aggravating than the fact that I have to be back here with Scott today is that now she's become considerably more popular than I'll ever be.
She's pretty darn popular. She really is.
You know,
she's an amazing, powerful woman.
You just go on her freaking Facebook. I'll post something I think's very significant. I'll get 2 likes. She'll put a silly picture of her going to the market, and she'll get 120 likes.
Well, listen.
Like, because Facebook is. See, I didn't even know what Facebook was when we were here a year ago. Now I live for Facebook. Oh, I know. No, but no, she's the love of my life. I love her to death. She means everything to me and my show, and she will, of course, be there in the band at the roast. And you can find her every week at Red Rock on Fridays.
Okay, so first of all.
And you know what's really cool? Is we're hoping that she is going to do really well on her SATs. Because in case the violin thing doesn't work out, we want her to get a good job.
Are you saying all these things so you won't be
it can't
hurt
be
that
done
night
next
when
week?
Yes. You're using up everybody's material now. Anyway, you went to the party with another girl stuck in my head. What are you, starring in Mad Men?
Well, you know, the funny thing is...
I'm glad you did.
Is weeks following, I had to somehow introduce her to the 11 girls that I was dating at the time, one by one. And this is not a joke.
Lord.
And I had to say, well, I've met somebody that I love now.
Right.
And this is the end of us, for whoever that may have been. And so Lydia was so patient.
I know, this is like...
She was so patient for so many weeks of dealing with such an idiot scoundrel that I was. But she's turned my life around now completely. And, you know, things are going better than ever because I owe it to her.
That's so sweet. Sweet love is in the air. Before, I just want to say one more name, Nieve.
Yes,
right?
6 months ago, my singing partner Marley, who I've been performing with for 12 years, decided to go back to Arizona. And she'd kind of had it with Vegas, and I don't blame her.
When you
But-
say performing with? Oh, you mean on stage? Sorry,
Trouble?
No,
They were
that was one of the reasons we broke up.
Oh,
No, but now I auditioned several girls, and I've got 3 lovely young ladies. One is Christina Shaw, a girl named Christina Amato, and then, as you point out, a girl named Nieve Melandra, and they all are amazing, young, beautiful ladies who are part of my show. And
they're all so gorgeous.
Oh, and they're
My
beautiful, and they're actually talented and amazing, and.
I know. I often wanted to, maybe someday be a part of, when the Sterling Club closed, I thought maybe I'll get to be a part of Zowie Bowie. But apparently your x-rays have to be good. And also you have to wear those short dresses. Because I remember coming to the show and I thought, is this Chris Phillips' show or is this the Vagina Monologue? Hey, on that note, I'm getting ready for the roast. I want to thank our guests, Chris Phillips and Andy Walmsley.
And congratulations for taking us to a whole new level.
Thank you so much.
And
I
I
can't
love
wait
you to
till
guest. I love you, Scott.
April 23rd.
Yep.
Red carpet starts at 10. Good luck getting
Stratosphere.
at the Stratosphere. Roasting, we love you, and we're going to show you how much we truly love you on April 23rd. Thank you on behalf of Scott Whitney and Kenny Davidson and Jacob Cannon. We will be back next week. I'm going to go home and write. And I'm going to go tan right now. No, let me do it right now. Here, you can have this. Take us out, Kenny. Take us out, baby. That's the hairspray. This is the tanner. Don't mix them up.
Oh my God, that's so cool. What is this? I want some of that.
It's hairspray. Put that on your head.
Oh yeah.
Spray up. How about we tan your head?
I know, yeah. Put a circle around it.
Do you want to do it?
Go on.
I want to get it on your clothes. Oh, there we go.
Smells nice.
That smells nice. There's a tan spot right there.
That's awesome.
That was fun. Yay!
Funny.
Sprayed my face with that.